My friends, I am Lao Tse, and today I bring you a wisdom that, if truly understood, has the power to transform your very existence. Silence is the answer to almost everything. It might seem strange in this noisy and hurried world, but I assure you, it is in quietness that true strength, deep insight, and profound peace reveal themselves. If this message resonates with your soul, if you seek a new perspective for the challenges of daily life, like it so it can bless more people. And follow me to receive other words that, just like these, can guide your journey to enlightenment. In my long observation of the world, I've noticed that humanity often loses itself in its own verbosity. There's an incessant need to express ourselves, to react to every stimulus, to have a ready answer for every question. However, it's in this whirlwind of words and actions that we often stray from the path of true clarity. Silence in this context emerges not as an absence, but as a potent presence, a sacred space where inner listening and attentive observation can flourish in deep consonance with what I call the Tao. Reflect with me. How many times has the haste to respond led us to misunderstandings or to decisions that, with more quietude, we would have certainly reconsidered? Silence offers this vital pause. It allows the mind to calm, emotions to settle, and intuition, often muffled by external noise, to emerge with its most subtle and accurate perceptions. Just as still water perfectly and undistortedly reflects the sky, a silent mind reveals truth in its purest form. Many see silence as weakness, as a synonym for inaction. I tell you it's the opposite. It's the foundation for all conscious action. Before any manifestation, be it a simple gesture or a grand endeavor, there exists a moment of profound stillness. In this serene space, energy concentrates, intention defines itself, and clarity is established. Think of the seed which, silently beneath the dark earth, gathers all its vital force before sprouting into a robust tree, following the natural and incessant flow of the Tao. The ability to silence the mind, even for brief moments amidst chaos, is an art developed through constant practice. Initially, it may seem like an immense challenge, as we are so accustomed to filling every gap with incessant thoughts and analyses. However, by persisting patiently, we begin to perceive the profound benefits of this practice. Stress diminishes, anxiety lessens, and a sense of inner peace, once almost unattainable, begins to manifest within our being, connecting us with the serene tranquility of the Tao. Silence allows us to hear what truly matters, the essential. I refer not only to the unspoken words of others, but primarily to our own inner voice, what popular wisdom calls intuition or conscience. In a world where we are constantly influenced by external opinions and clamor, silence becomes a protective shield, helping us to discern truth amidst the din of appearances and to connect with our purest essence, our innate and true Tao. Observe the conflict situations that arise in your lives. Our first reaction is often to argue, justify, or even counterattack with more words. However, silence offers a powerful and effective alternative. Instead of feeding the discussion with more noise, we can choose to be quiet, listen attentively to the other, allowing anger and frustration to naturally subside. Often, the absence of an immediate response disarms the conflict, opening space for mutual understanding and the search for more peaceful solutions. A reflection of the principle of non-action, Wu Wei. On the path of self-knowledge, this fundamental journey of life, silence proves to be an invaluable ally. When we allow ourselves moments of profound quietude, Free from the distractions of the external world, we begin to observe our own thoughts, emotions, and behavioral patterns with clarity. This non-judgmental self-observation is the first and most crucial step towards transformation, for we can only change what we first recognize and understand within ourselves, aligning with our inner truth. Silence is also a master in the art of patience, a virtue so essential for the adherent of the Tao. We live in a culture that demands instant results, where waiting is often seen as a weakness or a failure. However, many of life's greatest achievements and learnings require time, maturation, and indeed, silence. Just as nature does not rush in its majestic cycle of growth, we too need to learn to respect the inner timings of maturation and absorption, trusting in the natural and wise flow of the universe. The practice of meditation, for example, is the embodiment of the power residing in silence. By silencing the mind and body, even for a few minutes daily, we create a sacred space for the rejuvenation of the soul. It's in this state of profound quietude that the mind empties itself of excess information and worries, allowing new ideas to emerge and mental clarity to return with renewed strength. To meditate is not to stop thinking, but to observe thoughts without clinging to them, a direct path to enlightenment. In the realm of the arts, observe how silence plays a crucial role. In a musical composition, the pauses between notes are as important as the notes themselves, for they create rhythm, tension, and emotion. In painting, the empty space around a figure can powerfully enhance its beauty and meaning. Silence, therefore, isn't an empty absence, but an essential element that bestows depth, resonance, and meaning upon our experiences and creations, much like the void itself allows all existence. When you find yourselves overwhelmed, trying to solve multiple problems at once, remember this truth. Silence can be the most effective answer. Instead of trying to force solutions with an agitated and confused mind, allow yourselves a moment of profound quietude. Often, the answer you seek is already within you, waiting for a moment of peace to manifest. It's like a muddy river. Only when the water ceases to move do the sediments settle, and clarity returns to the surface, in accordance with the principle of non-interference. I invite you to consider that not every question demands a verbal answer, and not every problem requires an immediate solution. There are moments when silence, simply attentive and detached observation, is the wisest action. It allows us to absorb the situation in its entirety, without the distortions caused by the haste to intervene, revealing profound insights that would be lost in the daily clamor, an echo of Wu Wei, action without effort. By embracing silence in your daily lives, you will develop greater resilience. Life's adversities will not cease to exist, but your capacity to deal with them will expand immensely. Instead of being carried away by the turbulent current of emotions, you can anchor yourselves in inner quietude, observing the storm pass without drowning in it. Silence offers a safe haven amidst chaos, a calm center in the eye of the hurricane. Ancient wisdom teaches us that nature itself operates in a sacred rhythm of silence and manifestation. The seed germinates in silence, the mountain stands in its silent majesty, the vast universe expands in a deep and silent mystery. By attuning yourselves to this natural rhythm, you will learn to trust the processes of life, understanding that not everything needs your noisy intervention to thrive, but rather the fluidity and patience of the Tao. Silence, in its purest essence, is an act of humility. It reminds us that we are not the sole possessors of truth, and that there is a vast field of knowledge and understanding that transcends our limited words and concepts. By becoming silent, we open space to learn, to receive new perspectives, and to connect with something greater than ourselves. Be it the universal flow of the Tao or the divine intuition that resides within each one. In a world where attention is a valuable and constantly contested commodity, silence allows us to reclaim our own attention. Instead of dispersing it in 1,000 directions and distractions, we can direct it inward to what truly matters and nourishes the spirit. This ability to focus, to be fully present, is one of the greatest gifts that silence can offer us, enhancing our capacity to learn, create, and relate in a more authentic and deeply connected way. Finally, silence invites us to transcend the mere state of doing to embrace the state of being. In our culture, which is so action and production-oriented, we often define ourselves solely by what we accomplish. Silence, however, reminds us that we are human beings, not merely human doings. It allows us to simply exist, appreciate the present moment in its entirety, and recognize the intrinsic beauty of life, regardless of our achievements or status, finding contentment in the simple and profound act of living. Therefore, my friends, the next time you find yourselves facing a complex doubt, an overwhelming challenge, or an important decision, remember my words. Consider the transformative power of silence. Allow yourselves a moment of quietude. Listen to your inner voice and discover how this apparent absence can, in fact, be the fullest and most transforming answer to almost everything on your journey. Have you ever felt the profound impact of silence guiding you in a crucial moment? Share your experience.